There's apparently a story a couple years ago. I didn't know about this. Aaron Rodgers was furious that the Packers let go of a lightly used wide receiver. I knew they were mad years ago. He was when they got rid of, the coach, the quarterback coach, and didn't tell him. And I knew he was mad about Jordan Love. And now he's got a wide receiver who made 20 catches in 2 or 3 years. He was mad about that. I mean, just rip the Band-Aid off. Let's just you cannot win a Super Bowl with this level of dissension and animosity and acrimony in the organization. And it's not going to get better. And I was thinking about this. What is Aaron and the Packers? It is a relationship. It is a marriage. You sign a contract. When you get married, you're signing stuff, right? You got to go get your license. Why? That's what the way sports is. I mean, you are contractually tied to it. So it is a relationship. It is a marriage. And to fix a marriage, you got to go to therapy. You got to make sacrifices. But even if you do all that, once you lose trust, it's really over. You can go to therapy forever. If I don't trust you or you don't trust me, we can smile. We can still be intimate occasionally. We can go to dinner parties, vacations, not yell at each other in front of the kids. But deep down, the reservoirs at your soul, I don't trust you, you don't trust me. It's over, really. It's not a great relationship. And Aaron Rodgers will never unsee the Jordan Love pick. And Aaron just happens to be a guy that forgets nothing and remembers everything. The trust has been lost. Rip the Band-Aid off. Let's go. Green Bay is about Super Bowls. This isn't the Bengals here. This isn't the Lions here. It's about Super Bowls. You're not winning a Super Bowl with this level of animosity. Trust has been lost. Philadelphia, Carson Wentz. Philadelphia knew Carson could still play. Carson Wentz liked a lot about Philadelphia, but they lost trust in each other. Now, Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll, they had their issues this offseason, but they didn't lose trust in each other. Russell Wilson was just tired of saying, "Go Hawks." And Russell said, "I want an offensive line and better pieces, and I'm going to go public with it." And what did Seattle do? They fixed it. Fast. Russell Wilson, a couple years ago, "I want more money." What did Seattle do? Okay, they fixed it. Gave him a contract, got draft picks. Twice, Russell Wilson's gone public because he's mad at him. It's not that he doesn't trust Seattle, but he wants them to listen to him. And what do they do every time? They listen and immediately act. Remember that rumor, Russell Wilson's going to the Giants? It went public. I was told by a source it was real. Literally 2 weeks later, they had a new contract. Russell was second, third highest paid quarterback. This year, he complained about the offensive line. What did they do? They went and got him a tight end. They just drafted a wide receiver. They got Gabe Jackson left guard. They re-signed the fullback. They re-signed Chris Carson. They made the offense better. And they got rid of the offensive coordinator and got a new one and made sure they gave Russell the phone number and they talked 2 days in. Trust was never lost in Seattle. By the way, when Tom Brady left New England, it was a trust issue. Remember Tom, the year before he left, was barking on television to wide receivers, "Get open! Get open!" Tom had lost trust that despite the fact for 10 years he took pay cuts, they couldn't get him legitimate wide receivers and tight ends. He lost trust in Belichick's ability to land elite skill people. Goff and McVay. What was the issue? McVay lost trust that Goff against the best teams couldn't make plays, that the protection had to be perfect, the play design had to be perfect, and football's not perfect. They broke up. Garoppolo and Shanahan, they like each other. There's no question they like each other. But Shanahan drafts a quarterback and says publicly, "We don't trust Garoppolo's body." There's a lot of different trust issues. Kyle Shanahan, "We can't trust Garoppolo to stay healthy." Brady, "I can't trust Belichick to draft receivers, tight ends, and skill people." By the way, where did Tom go? An organization that had a bunch of tight ends and wide receivers and skill people. McVay doesn't hate Jared Goff, but he didn't trust him in big spots against the best teams in pass rushes unless the play was perfect. But Russell and Pete want the same thing. The difference is Pete generally wants the defense to be great, so he'll trade a bunch of draft picks for a safety. And Russell's like, no, I'm the star. Make the offensive line and the wide receiving corps better. They just had a disagreement on how to get better. But that's why that marriage works. It's not perfect. Russell and Pete's not perfect, but Aaron in Green Bay is done. It's done. He'll never unsee Jordan Love. And when you start complaining in the last couple of years, Aaron now apparently, according to a story, is complaining about a lightly used wide receiver who was let go and he wasn't told. I mean, come on. Now you're just picking fights. I mean, now you're just arguing. 4 days ago, I left a coffee cup in the sink and you didn't put it in the dishwasher. That's an argument? That's trust loss. That's when you start making crap up. And Greg Jennings said something on our show recently. I think it was last Thursday or Friday. Green Bay is what Green Bay is. They're never going to mortgage the future, draft picks, free agents. They're never going to do that. That's not who they are. They're not going to do what Tampa's doing. They're not going to do what Seattle's doing. They're not going to do what Philadelphia did. They're not going to spend the money on free agents that New England just did, as Greg Jennings knows their culture and their nature.
They didn't get what Aaron wants, so it tells me that they're just throwing salt on a wound, throwing dirt on the grave. Look, we're moving on eventually. Face it, this is what we do. You know it. The writing's been on the wall with Bart Starr, with Brett Favre, now with you. This is how we operate.
It's over. Just rip the Band-Aid off. It's so much easier. All right, I want to shift to this. As you know, I did not think the 49ers drafting Mac Jones was a great idea. My takeaway is, listen, draft Trey Lance or Justin Fields. Either one that's dynamic. Either one. I was more Trey Lance than Justin Fields by the end, but draft either one. But Mac Jones, you can't sell that to the locker room. And I was also a big fan of keeping Garoppolo around. I've said this multiple times. You only gave up a second rounder for him. You don't need to win another trade. Trey Lance isn't ready to play. I like Justin Fields. He may not be ready to play. It's the NFC West. It's the best division in football. Just keep Garoppolo around. You won the trade already. I mean, if he stays healthy the whole year, you're going to win the division. You have a chance to win the division. You could be a Super Bowl team. If he doesn't stay healthy and falls apart in week 8 or 9, put the young guy in. But there's no reason to ship him off now. It's the NFC West. You want to face Pete Carroll twice and McVay twice and Kyler Murray twice. No matter how good you are, Garoppolo should stick around. So yesterday on the Rich Eisen show, Shanahan was talking about Garoppolo, keeping him, and the situation they're in right now at quarterback. Guys know when a young guy's ready to compete with a starter. So what Kyle Shanahan is saying, we're men, we're visual animals. Women are more nuanced than that. We're visual animals. As he said, guys will know when the young guy is ready. That's not a small thing. Guys will know. It's very easy to sell guys on stuff they can see. My wife buys stuff. She can just read about it. She trusts her friends. Not me. I got to see it. Car, see, drive by. That's how I work. I got to see it. That's how guys are. We got to see it. It's interesting Shanahan says that. One of the reasons I like San Francisco keeping Garoppolo and drafting Trey Lance, you're going to get a buy-in with Trey Lance. Okay, first of all, Garoppolo knows the system. Guys like him. He looks the part. He got to a Super Bowl. Trey Lance and Justin Fields, let's talk Trey here, looks the part. He's actually bigger than Jimmy Garoppolo. He's more athletic than Jimmy Garoppolo. He throws a deep ball as good as Jimmy Garoppolo. The Niners, the first day in camp, those guys are going to be like, they like Jimmy G. They got to a Super Bowl with Jimmy G. But you're going to buy in to Trey. You're going to be like, he's a good-looking guy. He's confident. He's big. He's tall. He's strong. He's fast. He's going to rip off a run and run past one of those linebackers. Guy's going to be like, woo! We get what our staff did there. I never bought that with Mac Jones. Mac Jones, smaller than Jimmy G, doesn't have the arm, not as big. Now, our radio audience can't see this, but Jimmy G and Mac Jones, locker room, first day of practice. Go ahead and put it up. You think there's buy-in? I'm being totally honest. You think there's buy-in? Nah, bro. The bottom line here is Jimmy Garoppolo Those dudes like him. They trust him. They can see him. The square jaw, the Super Bowl, the confidence, the swagger, the arm. They like Jimmy G. They like him. He just can't stay healthy. So when they draft Trey Lance and he goes into camp, guys are going to be like, he ain't ready to play, but dude, you see that guy peel that one off today? See that guy run? You get buy-in. Dave Wanstead always says, you can lose games, don't lose the locker room. So the Niners locker room is going to look at Garoppolo at practice. He knows the playbook. But they're going to see Trey Lance, and they're going to be like, oh, I get it. Yeah, I get Mac Jones here. Remember, he can play now, so you got to move off Jimmy G. I don't think there's buy-in. I'm not picking on him, but he's smaller than Jimmy G, not built like Jimmy G, doesn't run as good as him, not as athletic as Jimmy G. I don't think he has a better arm than Jimmy G. According to all the scouting reports, Mac Jones' arm is average. Jimmy G's got a pretty good arm. So how good does it feel today in San Francisco? Kyle Shanahan today. I got Jimmy G. I got a Super Bowl roster. I got a stud at quarterback who got me to a Super Bowl. And then you get this kid coming in who's not ready to play yet, but wow. I mean, if you can't see his ceiling 3 practices in, then you're a blind man. You can't see. So I think so much of sports and so much of men is you can sell me stuff I can see. I mean, that's part of our problem in America is we have to see everything, right? We don't read as much. We only like headlines. But I always thought, keep Garoppolo, get one of these 6'4", 220 guys that can run around. You can get buy-in. I never bought the players are going to look at Mac Jones and go, Russell Wilson twice a year, Kyler Murray twice a year, Matt Stafford's arm twice a year, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. That, I don't buy it. We're simple creatures, folks. We are. We're simple creatures. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.